AI will give you a lot of answers. Now you have to be able to fight back. This is bullshit. This is not bullshit.
What would you say is the best to grow a company when you are bootstrapping?
When you understand who you want to serve, you still have to talk to different similar audiences because you cannot know from day one. You have to ask them, what do you want? What do you need? The more you ask them, the more you understand.
Are you running ads with AI generated content?
I think it's becoming insanely cool to go viral, not to convert.
Right.
Biotech, robotic, fintech, your targets are oftentimes educated people, so you need to have smart, high quality content.
What's your take on cold calling?
Welcome back to one more episode of the Agentic Project. This time we are with Alexy. Alexy, you run a marketing agency. You've been running Modjo for over 3 years. And lately you've been posting a lot about AI and how you're doing internal things within the marketing agency with AI. In fact, I wanted to start the conversation with a post that we saw a few weeks ago where you were saying that you cut your team's working hours from 8 hours per day to 4 hours per day, and also unlocking them 4 extra hours to build on their own projects and to have more time to be creative. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yep, exactly. I did post about that indeed, and there's an even bigger structure to that. I did cut the whole team, like the whole workforce, to 50%. What are the total workforce and the time of that workforce? And the thing is, when we started like this idea of helping founders and builders scale on the revenue and growth side, we didn't really have AI like we have today. Today, you can use AI. You can be creative, talk to AI. AI tells you what you need to do. You connect AI with an MCP to another tool, and you have your workflow. So my team went from everything manual to everything automated. What will take us like days to sync and optimize on Notion. Today we do something in a call. We take the recording of the call. We talk to Notion AI, and Notion AI creates our workflow. Not like the data workflow, more like the organizational workflow. It's just a game changer. And even for the relation with the clients, the workflow with the clients, we can tailor to what they need. So we're doing that type of activation, this type of A/B testing. We have to report this. We talk that to AI. Okay, it's set. We have some pre-made code for the infrastructure, of course, but like when it comes to Notion, it's easier as that. Everything reporting can also be automated. What do you want to be reported? What type of data of what tool of which campaigns? We use N8N as a principal backbone. Again, it might seem technical, but if I explain to N8, let's say I have ATO, which I use as CRM,
Yeah,
and
CRM.
maybe yeah, and they just raised $50 million by Google a few months back, and I love it because I can talk to my problems, like my professional problems, like who do I have in my agenda regarding calls, regarding emails, regarding leads, regarding prospects. I can think with Claude. I'm a fan of Claude. And then Claude would build me my whole workflow on Atio with an MCP. An MCP is just like connecting to. My definition of MCP is you allow two tools to talk together, and Atio will be built by my conversation in Claude, just with the MCP. So everything is faster, cheaper, and more efficient. And our team have way more time to build other things. For instance, we're working with like a project called I cannot tell the project name because we haven't started the campaign
No
yet, but
worries.
like it's a DEX. A DEX, it's a blockchain project, like it's a decentralized exchange where you can trade against other people, not like a centralized exchange like Coinbase. We've built a tool that allows to ramp up the acquisition and volume of each traders that come on that. It's technical. I don't get that technique myself. But my head of growth, he built that tool in a week alone with the extra time he had. So it's an extra revenue stream for us and it's extra revenue stream for the client. just with the creativity of these tools allow us to have. And it's fantastic. And yeah.
Quick break. I wanted to thank you for showing up to the Agentic Project, the podcast where Danny, my co host, and I interview founders building the latest AI tools in the space. This podcast wouldn't be possible without flowhawk.com, the AI agency that Danny and I run in order to help teams optimize their operations. If you think that your team could have more efficient operations, go to flowhawk.com. Okay, let's keep going with the podcast. So to give a little bit of context to the audience, what was Modjo doing 1 year ago in terms of, because Modjo, it's what you can explain better, but it's a growth agency that helps companies, tech companies grow, right? So what were the tasks that you were doing, as you mentioned earlier, manually 1 year ago, like to take a little step back?
Wow, everything. I mean,
But
so
in terms of, yeah, so sorry to, like, I understand that there is it's a wide question. Let's narrow it down in terms of growth. Yeah, growth campaigns, growth techniques that you were doing manually last year, which are the efforts that you were doing manually a year ago in terms of this growth projects that you had for your clients.
okay. So I think where I can really pin you what changed, it's on the B2B side of the company, of Modjo itself. We went from creating our own content with our hands, having a team that iterates the content, then designer that work with the content team, then someone that creates the publication and the calendar, and then someone that reports. Um, Today it comes to you ideate with AI, you iterate with AI. The social media manager makes sure the designer is on time with the calendar. Posts are automatic and reporting are automatic too. What used to cost us thousands of dollars to create 1 week of content now costs us a few $100, and
Wow.
it's very fast and very efficient. That's only on the content side for the sales. What I mean is, like, for
Mm.
instance, LinkedIn content, right? Then we were creating content, people were coming to us in DMs, or we were sending emails, or reaching out to people on Twitter, because it was like blockchain mainly at the time. That was very manual. We had no much organization. Today, we have a full funnel that we can track people behavior online. So I'm gonna explain to you. I could not do that alone 1 year ago, and today I just have leads coming at me when I create content. It's obvious, but like, let's say you create content on LinkedIn, right? So I just explained how this content is faster, easier to ideate and iterate. So you push that content online and people see it. They interact with the content, or they visit your website, or they visit your social media, right? Um, that's like tracking analytics. But now, um, with AI, I can build more sophisticated analytical tools that track the behaviors that I just explained of the people that interact with my content with N8N, basically, where I connect that tool with the data flow of the people coming from LinkedIn. I connect them to my CRM. And in my CRM, I know who connects connects with me on LinkedIn, who interacts, who visits my website, and who visits my social media or my profile again. And then I can understand at what frequency they come to my social or my website, but also I can understand what they look for. So on your website, let's say I have a growth area on my website, and I have a content area on my website. It's two different links, two different UTMs that you track, right? So I know what people like. Do they want growth? Do they want content? And at what frequency do they want that? So I score them in my CRM. The more they come, if they're a CEO, they have 15 points, let's say. If they're a CMO, they have maybe 10 points because they're less decision maker. Even if it's not always the case, let's put it that way. Now they have points in my CRM, and the frequency they come to my content and what type of content they gain points. Now, that reporting and that's automated through NN8 and ATO, and the reports to my team, it's also automated on Slack. Workflow, it's at the tip of the iceberg. Just to do that, I would have need to pay a developer a few $1,000s. Even 2 years ago, it would have take time, iteration, it would have been slow and not optimal. Now I talk to Claude, and Claude builds everything on NN8 and connects my ITO and my LinkedIn flow together. Then I said people can increase in score in my CRM. When they reach a certain score, I can send them a message on LinkedIn. Hey, you've seen my content and you interacted with my post. Then I can send an ad, and then ad can have a call to action. Hey, download this report. This is how we create content for a client that will help raise 5 million. And then they will interact with that ad too, which increase their score again. And you can do that with webinars, you can do that with emailings, and you can do that with DMs and ads, like I said. And depending on the reaction to these ads, emailing, they still score yes or no. All this system is built with automations. AI tools connected together through NN8. Reporting is made automated with Slack notification or to the right person. And the content of all these different tools, it's also ideated and iterated with AI and designers. This is like a machine that builds slowly, but with time allows you to get like around 50 leads a month with that system. And I build it alone. I just need my designer. What would not have been possible like 2 years ago. I will need a team, I will need a lot of money and a lot of time. And now it's just next
Yeah.
level.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds as a very solid system. But let's get to the basics first. Like, what's the one thing people get wrong about AI when it comes to growth?
Hmm. Good question. There's so many possible answers here.
What's the one that you have seen, like, people like just think AI is gonna do all this stuff for themselves, but that's not the case.
Yeah,
Or
there's three things maybe. The first one is that people think it's complicated. And so I've seen people pay $10,000 for tools that if you learn 2 days how to use N8N and Claude together, you can have them for free. So it's not complicated. Not today. It's not true. Um, the first time I used N8N, it took me 2 days, like a nerd, barely sleeping, and I got it. And I had some developing experience. I knew how to code like for five years ago, but that's it. I'm not that much like I don't have that much expertise. So it's not complicated at all. It just requires a bit of time, and that's the first point. The second point is like the tools themselves. Yeah, there's something tricky in the tools themselves coming to growth. Like you see a lot of tools that are not really tools, that are features. So, I mean, I like to have a solid tool um, that will like create of my workflow and keep it very basic. And I see people like to go fancy with a lot of different tools that are features that they connect together with AI and it's sophisticated. But the thing is like you can have a more traditional tools that already have all these features together and it's less pain in the ass. And the thing is, if you connect a lot of different tools together, those features tools that I call and that a lot of people call, the problem is like you still need maintenance of your code, and you have to
yeah,
verify every day that it works. And if you really, really go in a software, like I have a, for what I explained before, I have a developer in the team that verifies, the data flows. As I mean, it's still data, it's still code. You need to understand it. So I think like most people try to go, not most, but a lot of people try to go very sophisticated with a lot of different tools, where if you keep it basic, it works. And you don't need, I do really believe in the 80-20 principle. Like 80% of the results come from 20% of the inputs. And Yeah. And so how you use those tools and why you use those tools, there's a lot of noise out there, I would say.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
totally agree. Totally agree on that. I wanted to ask because you're saying that you're using N8N internal like a lot for your own processes and to grow your brand and everything. Is your team also using N8N and these like AI tools for projects from your clients, or are you using different workflows for them?
Good question. So if it's a B2B client, so let's say you have like an AI infrastructure that want to sell their services to institution or banks, it's similar, right? You want to reach your ICPs. I don't even know what ICP mean, unique customer persona, something like that. You
Yeah,
want to reach
see,
your,
ideal customer
yeah,
profile. Yeah, yeah.
buzzwords.
Hmm.
So your targets, and you do the same. You create content where they are, you track their behavior, and you retarget them until they trust you. So we apply what we preach for B2B
Yeah.
clients.
Hmm.
So we get better at it, and they get better at it, and it's a good flow. Now we have B2C clients too. B2C clients, it's more technical to optimize everything. B2B data, it's more available. It's at least in Europe, it's to use too. In the US, it's different. But B2B data, it's easier to target. B2C data, you have to watch out. And when you do global implementation, yeah, you have to think of local jurisdiction, how they treat data, and what type of messaging you can spread, right? Sometimes we have a project in the US, they want to target Asia and US and Africa and LATAM. You cannot really you can automate, you cannot automate as of today just the full distribution and just the content distribution as easy as B2B, I'll say. But for the clients themselves, like you have very good tools. Like if you want to use emails, for instance, you have customer.io. It's very, very good to segment all the funnel. It's a little bit like the B2B architecture, but for users. When they have a certain behavior, you can send an ad when or an email and different features. I think that's already a tool. I don't know if they use AI. I don't manage the B2C part of the company anymore. I guess they have AI, but again, you can create content with AI. You can track and do your reportings with AI, but you also have very good tools today. For your newsletters, you have Substack. All these companies are embedding AI in their own tool, for instance, but you also have new tools. Like in San Francisco here, you have a tool called Humanic.ai. Humanic.ai, it's basically I would, let's say we're brainstorming, you and me. We have people coming from China and people coming from the US. We have people that came 5 days ago, which was from another campaign, and people that will come next week. We have people, and all these type of different people. We have people that refer users or not. We also have people that have big retention. They come every day. Others don't come every day, or others already left and never came back. Those are a lot of different type of segmentation that if you really optimize the content you send to every single person, so you send Chinese or English content, you say, hey, why do you come back? Instead of, hey, thank you for coming back every day. It's a different conversation. It feels more personal. That tool, Humanic.ai, is the type of tool that their vision is like, what I just said now, I put in the tool, they build all the system. So those are tools that we try. I mean, so to answer your question, all all tools are great. They embed AI. It's already getting faster and better. And you have new tools like that just make you smarter and better. And I think, yeah, it's for more distribution level on emailing, Discord communities, let's say, for more crypto projects. It's still very the tools that we always used, embed with AI. I think like they're great. But the thing is, the difference I will say, like one person can manage a full campaign. I mean, in the coming month, for me, I mean, the goal of growth people is to become Ironmans. Lovable, the CEO of Lovable had a podcast where I heard like the vision of Lovable is to become the personal head of growth of everybody. Today, a Lovable can build your website. Whether it is fine or not, that's not the conversation. But if you dig a bit into it, you can see like you can talk to Lovable and say, hey, I have people coming from China and they will go to the cart to pay for the payment. Optimize that for my audience in China, for the payment solutions they have, and maybe for the habits they're used to um, have the colors or the type the writing in
Yeah.
just the checkout, right? And Lovable can build that. And the goal, so to come back to what I said, like if you understand how Lovable works, and what I said that it's to allow head of growth to become Ironmans, you'll be able to talk to all your tools about what you think, and your tools will, like Humanic.ai, will segment every emailing for different type of persona in different type of behavior in different type of funnels they are, and then that will be connected to your Lovable, and Lovable will know that all these people will get different emails and they will come to Lovable that can make personalized landing page to all these people. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I just talked about like infra website and email here. It will be the same with ads, with DM, with content. So yeah, AI will allow head of growth to become Ironmans in their own discipline, do more, faster, cheaper, iterate, create system, try, and find the growth loop that works faster.
So from by what you're describing, it seems that highly targeted content it's uh, a key strategy to grow a business. So some of our listeners of the podcast are AI enthusiasts that are starting out their businesses. So they are in this initial phase. What would you say it's the best to grow a company when you are bootstrapping and you don't have that much funding or that many resources?
Good question. Let AI talk to you. What I mean is like we are used to ask, no, how can I frame that? We're used to ask Google. We're used to watch a YouTube video of half an hour where in 3 minutes you can get what you want. Nobody is used to let AI tell them what works and what does not. And so that's when it changed my vision. Like I don't really watch YouTube videos anymore. I don't really Google anymore. I ask relevant LLM what I want. So when I say relevant LLM, I'm not the best at it, but Nexus is great for market research. Claude is great for specific creative tasks. ChatGPT is great for more broad memory understanding, A/B testing, feedback back and forth. When you have those tools, you can ask them anything. So I, you tell them anything. You like, I'm 15 years old. I don't know clue about marketing. I like Pokemon cards. You to understand the evolution of Pokemon cards on the last 10 years, where it's going, what can I do to surf that wave of my passion? We'll give you an answer probably like, yeah, Pokemon cards are getting tokenized on the blockchain, which already exists. You have companies that make like 500 million revenue a year doing that. And then they would tell you, yeah, but maybe this guy needs better distribution in other countries. So that's your role. You can create a website in Taiwan and target an audience there to sell those tokenized cards there or that trading game. And then you just have to ask AI, hey, how do I create a website? How do I target people? Where can I create content fast? And when people come to my website, how can I make sure that they actually use the product? If you ask AI that, and AI will give you a lot of answers. Now you have to be able to fight back. This is bullshit. This is not bullshit. You can even prompt it a bit. Imagine you're the CEO of Google. How would you think? That's you still have to, AI won't have the same understanding of the whole situation like someone that has experience in it. But if you know that AI don't have that understanding, you can offset it. And you can simply say, hey, I know that you don't know everything, but you can scrap web file, social profile of CMOs on LinkedIn, for instance, check what they've done, learn. You send all of that to AI. How do you think these people with their experience will think? and you prompt it that way, and he will give you other ideas, and you can continue feeding AI and fighting back the ideas. So I really believe you can do anything, and AI can do anything if you understand it and prompt it well and give the right context. So yeah, it's a crazy game. It's an insane game.
Alexy, I wanted to ask, because you are doing a lot of activities for your clients and for your companies. As far as I'm aware, you work on ads, you do content for them, you help them with outbound and also with influencer marketing. For a startup that is trying to get their distribution set up starting now, what are the 2, 3 marketing pillars that they should focus on in the early days?
What type of startup will it be? A product or a service?
Product,
A product,
like
send
tech
DMs.
startup. Send
DMs.
DMs
Yeah, nobody
in
does that.
LinkedIn, in Twitter, in Instagram,
Ever,
where
everywhere the people you want are. So what I'll do is like people overlook the word like branding and positioning, but me I see it as simple like you really don't have to be afraid to be selective in your targets because if you try to serve everybody, you won't serve nobody. So I think like try to understand who you want to serve, and the more money they have, the more money you'll make. It's something that you have to take into account too. It doesn't have to be your motivation, but don't expect to be rich if you help restaurants. I mean, maybe, but it's saturated already. There's already people that work with 500 restaurants. You're not going to take the market share. Maybe then you better go with an enterprise. You have one client and you make 1 million a year, right? So you have to understand that first. If you want to make money, understand where's the money. Then you have to understand who you want to serve. The death, pain equals money. When you understand who you want to serve, you still have to talk to different similar audiences because you cannot know from day one. You have to ask them, what do you want? What do you need? The more you ask them, the more you understand. But then you get your target. And when you really understand like what they want and how you can solve it, then you message everything. Social media, your LinkedIn page toward them. You go precise throughout them. So you understand who they are, and then you understand how and what and why you can talk to them. And when you have that and they're here, then you target them. And that targets, when you want to target them, you have expensive ways and you have cheaper ways. If you don't have money, so I don't know if I made that, but like I kind of made that. You have like an equation, this is, a graph. This is y,
yeah.
this is x. Yeah.
Mm.
So in the equation is if you have money and if you give me a budget of $5 million, I can get to your target. I will understand who's your target, what's the messaging. I will pump them. They will come because you cannot fail with $5 million. You can waste, but you cannot fail. And then you're gonna retain them, etc. Now, if you don't have that but you have time. With $5 million in 2 weeks, I can go viral, do whatever I want, right? If I have $100, but I have 6 months, with a bit of luck, I can arguably get to the same results. And how I will do it, like I will start texting 20,000 people the first month, then 20,000 other people the first month. If you convert 1% of them, it's a lot of people already. It's like 200, 300, 400 people. And if they really like your product and you make their messaging around you, like I said, your target, then you will start to find eventually product market fit and people that really, really like your product and people that were very early with you. And if you have 400 people that likes you and use you, it's already money. It can be $4,000, $10,000 a month. And with $10,000 a month, you can do a lot of things with AI. Those 4,000 people, you can incentivize them to become your ambassador and referrals program. That takes time. It takes you being in the Discord, being in the WhatsApp group with them. They can referring people. If each of one refer 2 people within a month, you get to 1,500 people. You start making more revenue, you start understanding more what are their pains, and you haven't spent a lot of money at this point. You can make this already almost for free and make thousands of dollars per month. even if you only make $3,000 per month, if you put that on ads and emailing with AI, you can send 50,000 emails a month and maybe spend $500 a month on ads, and you reach 200,000 to 300,000 people, and then you continue the loop. So if you don't have money, you have time, you can get to good results by understanding what is target, give them an incentive to help you and join you early and grow with you, and then you make more money, and then up you have more and more and more budget, and you continue the loops. And the day you make like $20,000 a month, you can do anything in marketing with 20,000, anything.
Actually, now you mentioned different channels like LinkedIn, Instagram, Discord, but you didn't mention cold calling or phone. What's your take on cold calling?
I did a company 7 years ago. My first company were electronic music festival. I started it by doing cold calls. And I think I've done like 300 calls in a month, and 10%, and I had nothing, right? No name or no reputation, or I just have a business diploma, that's it. And yeah, I had like 10% of people that were willing to do something with me. I don't know if the market was not saturated or it was early, I don't know, but I think it's very powerful. Now, I think it also depends on your sector and what you tell the people. Because me, when someone calls me and I don't have the number, I don't answer. Because I know it's going to be something that I potentially don't want. But you have a lot of people that have to answer it. I think it's a very powerful technique. I also think that it will be saturated very, very fast with AI. I don't know if you have ever had a call like of an AI, but like it's very, very human. And if you can make 500 calls per minute with AI, it's great. So I think you can have an arbitrage of maybe 6 months to 1 year using AI to call 10,000 people. It's gonna be expensive to call 10,000 people, I think, but you get the logic. But go
So at
ahead,
the end
please.
of the day, do you ask your clients to do cold calling to grow, or it's something that you don't
We don't do
care
that.
about?
I mean,
Okay.
we eventually at the end of a campaign, in the sense that like usually if it's B2C, no, that doesn't really make sense for acquisition. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's very hard. Maybe to retarget them. If you see a lot of people are very, very into the community, into the product, you can send them a message, propose them a call. Yes, maybe not call them. Cold
Okay.
calling will. I put it this way. I don't think. If you're in a bootstrap, yeah, try DMs, cold calling. Yes. If you have a system and time and a bit of money, then you want to turn your audience in a warm audience before a cold audience. And what I mean is like cold emailing, cold ads, cold DMs can all be turned in hot emails, hot ads, and hot DMs. In the sense like, for instance, LinkedIn. If I connect with you, visit your profile and like your post, my algorithm will interact with your algorithm. So you will see my content. If I do that once or twice a week, you will see my content almost every day. Then you eventually visit my website. Then you're not that cold anymore. You start to be warm or hot. And then I can send you a DM or an email or an ad with a call to action to connect with me, and it will increase the probability for you to answer with a yes to that proposal, right? So I will turn the audience into a warm audience before like calling them or proposing a call at this point, better, rather than doing it warmly.
That makes sense.
Coldly, sorry.
That makes a lot of sense.
Coldly.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Understood. I wanted to ask about the ads. We've been speaking about ads like a few times in this conversation at a high level. I wanted to ask, are you and your team running ads with AI generated content, like the video itself or the content within the ad being generated by AI? Or are you still doing the creatives manually internally?
For videos,
yeah, for whatever ads that you do on LinkedIn or this type of adverts, like videos, photos, are you using AI to do it, or just regular photos and the old way, I guess we can say?
It's a good question. I don't have, or I don't know everything we do on the client's level, to be honest, especially not on such matters. What I know is
Yeah.
like
Mm,
for everything content, we iterate and iterate with AI. Designers and
mm,
professionals finish up because you need high trust. AI,
right.
biotech, robotic, fintech. Your targets are oftentimes prosumers, educated people, emotions, and trust. It's important. So you need to have smart, high quality content. It's very
Mm,
important.
mm.
Now,
Understood.
for everything video, I don't think we. No, it will be more like the trend in video today gets a lot, like here, this podcast, you clip it, you put it in an ad and say,
Mm,
hey, come and
mm,
see this podcast, right?
mm,
And you will clip it.
mm,
We will foster more like traditional content, human to
mm,
human, especially if it's TikTok, especially if it's Instagram. People like to see human, they want to chill.
mm, mm,
If it's we don't use AI yet for video, it's on one of my to-do lists, to be honest, because I think it's becoming insanely cool, like insanely
mm.
cool. Now I think it's becoming insanely cool to go viral, not to convert. Um,
Right.
but conversion, if you want to convert, you have a warm audience. That warm audience will be less expensive to target because you know them and you can
Mm,
target them. So you can create very
mm,
tailored visual human to human like this. Now, if you want to go viral, yes, AI, if to come back to the bootstrap, it's the place to be. You have tools like arcades.ai. You talk like this, you put demos of your product, they make ads of AI avatars. You don't even see that's an AI avatar. It's $10 per video. You make 200 videos, you make them on TikTok. One goes viral, you have millions of views. You convert 10%, you have 100,000 people. It's insane. And that costs you $200. Like that would have cost $200,000 5 years ago. $200,000. And that's why we were charging some people sometimes. Not $200,000, but like 5 years ago for a video, like I used to work in Paris at the time. Yeah, people were paying $10,000 for a video, and now it's two
it's
ten
crazy.
dollars. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's
I
insane.
was asking because I personally I don't consume that much of TikTok or Instagram, but I do spend some time on YouTube Shorts, and whenever I see like an AI generated ad, I'm like, no, I'm not watching this personally because I'm also biased. Like I work with the with AI tools all the time, and I know the people that are making all these videos, and I know how fast it is for them to.
Mm.
So I feel like no, I'm not falling in this trap. I don't know if it's something personal or if it actually resonates, but I really like the sentence that you said where you meant when you actually highlighted that AI videos are good for awareness, but not for retention. I
Yeah,
totally agree with that. They are good to go viral, but not for retention. I totally relate to that. So yeah.
uh, and I agree with what, but I think because like you have different type of educations, right? But like you have the technology type of education where I think in this room
Mm,
everybody is, as we would have been this podcast. So yeah, you have like, yeah, this is bullshit. But some people like this is totally new for them. Like, and they find it very,
mm,
very,
mm.
very cool. And they're like, wow, I like it. Or they don't even know that it's AI. So I like to take that into account too. Like the psychological aspect in marketing is the most important aspect in marketing. And there's nothing more powerful.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. Danny, more questions before the final round?
Not from my side. I think we're already 42 minutes
Yeah,
on.
yeah. So
So
we're
I don't
ready
know.
to shoot the last fire round. Danny, start thinking your golden question before like whilst I'm doing mines. So I'll start with the standard classic ones that we ask every guest in our podcast, which is what would be the one book that you would recommend anyone?
The 80-20 principle by
The 80
Richard
20
Koch.
percent. Okay, sweet. You
Uh,
mentioned that one before, and it's not in our
it's
list of books mentioned. So nice.
I've read it 3 times. I apply it, whether it is money, work, clients, relationships. I apply it. Like it's a beautiful way of thinking.
Nice. We'll write that down. We have a website where we are listing all the books recommended from our guests so that everyone has like a source of knowledge there.
Cool.
So awesome. It's good to add a new one. Then I say this by tradition, but I think eventually we'll delete this. But if there's any underage kid listening now, stop because I'm about to ask an over 18 question, which is we are doing a fuck, marry, kill AI tools in the space. So for you, which AI tools would you associate to fuck? So one that you would play around for a day and then nah, forget it. Marry, so an AI tool that you would want to have forever, and kill, so basically an AI tool that you would want banished from the world today.
So one AI tool that I try once, one forever, and one that I don't want to see anymore.
Yeah.
Good question. An AI tool that I tried once is probably, Mm, I would say it's a very good question. I think, yeah, Nexus, I use it like once or twice for market research, and that's pretty much it because I don't do market research much myself. I should do more. Um, so that would be the one that I barely use. The one that I will marry, well, Claude by far. Claude, yeah,
Enough.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
on our top of the leaderboard. It's top in the
Like,
leaderboard for sure. Hmm.
whether it is for communication or like I said, like I connect Claude to other tool and it builds everything into other tools. Like, yeah, I cannot live without Claude, I think. And the one that I will kill, good question. Do I want to kill an AI tool? I don't have, maybe,
One that pisses you off or that is like, nah, you're useless.
yeah, I have. Maybe more something more general will be like the tools to script to script data. Like I use them, I enjoy them, but there are so many scripting tools that do the same for different pricing, different results, give you different
Hmm.
outcomes. And I would just kill that category and make something easier for the consumer to understand and to streamline too. Because it's basic, but like to get a list of contacts, you have to understand how to segment it. So you have tools for that.
Hmm.
Then you have to understand where to scrap it, and you have tools for that. And then you have to understand how to enrich them, and you have tools for that. It's a pain in the ass, even with AI today. And yes, you can use N8N to automate it, but good luck. I mean, so yeah,
Hmm.
everything data, scribing, finding, enriching, it's a mess. I'll kill it. I will kill that category and make a one more streamline.
Copy that. That makes sense. Danny, the floor is yours.
Okay, let's get to it. What's one thing that you really dislike in this life?
One thing that I dislike,
Can be anything.
I think, yeah, the type of individual that doesn't find technology like a movement forward.
Okay.
In the sense, a spoon 100 or 200 or 300 years ago was technology. It helped people do something better, smoother, and smarter. The same with robotics, the same with AI, the same with future technologies that will come. And I see sometimes people, whether it is on my content or just in conversation, we don't need that. Or, this is disgusting. And that for me, like, it's just you don't understand how evolution was made, is made, and why people try to continue solving problems. The fact that we have a phone in our hand is it's something deficient from technology. You have to see that like in 100 years, they will see us, oh, these guys were addicted to this. And in 100 years, they will be talking with AI. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
don't like people that are closed-minded to technology as a solving problem because it doesn't make any sense in the natural evolution of things.
Okay, now here comes this scenario. So imagine that you have to close your company, okay, for external reasons, and you have to make in the next 6 months 1 million profit by starting a new company. And it cannot be
Yeah.
like something related to marketing. Otherwise,
Ah,
you have to spend the rest of your life surrounded by technology averse people, like this kind of people
okay.
that hate technology, and you have to be talking to them every day, like they are your best friends. What
So
would
it
be
cannot.
how, what company would you start, and how would you make it grow to 1 million profit in just 6 months?
So no marketing.
No marketing. Well, it can be marketing, but not exactly what Modjo does.
Yeah, okay. Can I create a new startup that like marketing tool, but not
Yes,
Mojo?
but
Yeah.
no Modjo.
Okay, so I'll create an AI creative director that helps people share what they have in their brain. An AI creative director that knows what other content creator are good at, whether it is the hook, the body, the call to action, in what platforms they're good at it, and tracks that data. But then he also streamline your thought process. So if you have an idea here, it store that idea for your content calendar directly for next week, a given day. And if 5 days later you have an extra idea on that idea, then you talk to that creative director and they store that idea in the same box in your calendar for the same day. And because, as I said before, like that creative director have those thought that you have and knows exactly what the market wants, like how they got viral, or you create influence, which are different things. They can propose you hooks, body, and conclusion with your thought. The thing is, like, content is becoming more important, but a lot of people try to go viral, but not a lot of people try to create influence. If you have a lot of reach and have no influence, you have nothing. You have to build influence. And to build influence, you have to be very, very, very good on your craft. Whether it is like you send skyrocks, spaceships to the moon, or whether like you do mushrooms for a living, you have your craft. You can become extremely good at it by just focusing on that. And that AI creative director, take your thoughts that you speak with them, know what you have to say, why you have to say it, create that content, gives you different proposition, and you can select them and even train your AI to become better. You price that $20 a month. I'm sure you have hundreds of thousands of people that buy that. At least try it in a very few months, and you make way more than your million of profit.
Very solid pitch. Actually, I think you have
Yeah.
your first customer here, and it's Nacho, because Nacho
Yeah.
was building
Yeah.
this content,
For
a
sure.
content
For
creation
sure.
calendar that would be very good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Alexi, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your time. We had a great conversation with you. So thank you for coming, and thank you everyone for tuning in one more time. Bye bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
guys.
See you
Thank
next time.
you.
Okay, stop recording 1 second.